Michael Pittman Jr. has been on a tear this year, sitting comfortably inside the top 10 at wide receiver. But his fellow wide receivers Josh Downs and Alec Pierce have been quietly producing too. Josh Downs is averaging 5.8 targets, 39.1 yards, and 10.3 fantasy points per game, and he also has 3 touchdowns. He appears to be the clear wide receiver 2 behind Michael Pittman and has been very steady recently, averaging 14 fantasy points per game over the last 4 games he's played. He's a dependable receiver that's rostered in 63% of ESPN leagues, but could be available to pick up if your league mates aren't paying attention to how well he's been playing, or they dropped him in week 7 when he was injured. The wide receiver 3 on the team, Alec Pierce, is averaging 6.4 targets, 71.6 yards, and 10.6 fantasy points per game. Michael Pittman Jr. has only 60 yards more than Alec Pierce on the season, and Pierce has missed 2 games. Pittman has played in all 9. Pierce is a versatile deep threat that's only rostered in 35% of ESPN leagues and is definitely worth a roster spot. The Colts are 7-2, but face another tough matchup this week against the Atlanta Falcons, who have the best pass defense in the NFL and a top 5 defense overall. With that said, their run defense is outside of the top 20, which means the Colts may lean heavily on Jonathan Taylor this week, especially if they have a lead on the Falcons. Obviously, that's not an ideal game script for the pass catchers, which could result in a low fantasy output. And then in week 11, the Colts are on a bye, which could be the ideal time to make a lowball trade for Downs or Pierce, or even pick them up off the waiver wire. If Downs isn't on waivers, pick up Pierce. They're both averaging over 10 fantasy points per game, and I actually like Pierce a little bit more. Pay attention to how these guys play this week, and make a move to get them on your team before week 12. They do have a somewhat difficult schedule for the rest of the season, but they are on one of the best teams in the NFL, specifically one of the best offenses in the NFL, and should be solid flex players for the rest of the season. And despite the difficult matchup, I'm actually starting both of them this week.